Oh my, what is up, you beautiful people, and happy weekend to all you CS enjoyers out there. I just want you guys to know I'm currently enjoying some breakfast, also watching the HLTV awards show. We'll probably have some breaking news tomorrow or bright and early Monday, so thank you all for being here. Some breaking news as of late. We have tons to go over, so we might as well. One surprise for some Mouz fans out there is Jimmy Boy is set to stay, which I think there was some negotiations going on. There was some considerations for a team like Falcons or other interest in Jim, or JIMPPHAT as we like to call him on this channel, but he will be staying, which I will say for Mouz fans out there seems pretty big to retain a guy like him, who of course another HLTV top player of the year and had his options. But that's pretty big. Now, can this Mouz roster really change things up? And for me, the past few years of Mouz have been like, can they push to the finish line? They have had these rosters in contention. They have had these players who are top players of the year, but can Mouz together as a team push to the grand finals and actually get results? Well, Jimmy Boy is going to push them that way, and I was very excited to see all of this news. We also recently heard Muncie talk about, hey, G2, we have a fifth player. It's as expected, as rumored. It will be HEAVYGOD set to join this roster and replace Nico as well. So G2, this roster on paper, it continues to confuse a lot of people, and can they turn this ship around even without Nico at the helm? It will be young Muncie for now, staying on G2. And of course, G2, a classic out there. Their announcement for HEAVYGOD was pretty funny. Taz joked about benching Malbs, just a content piece out of G2. So welcome HEAVYGOD. And rest in peace, Cloud9. Cloud9, if you're out there, can you hear me? North American Counterstrike, we would love to have you. Thank you very much. One of the pieces I'm super excited to announce to all of you guys, we had the Blast Bounty matchups finally seeded and finally selected. We broke down this Blast Bounty format a couple weeks ago for all of you, but we are now less than about 10 days away from the start of these matchups. I said 10 days. They start in like 3 days, just so you guys know. As there will be bounties on the line, the lower seeded teams were allowed to select the teams they want to face off against. And pretty much the premise being the higher the seed of the team you choose to compete against, the higher the bounty you can claim if you beat them. And of course, we will be seeing Imperial Female, the only female team to compete in the Blast Bounty event. And it's going to be really exciting because they selected NAVI. And yes, if they beat NAVI, the team will take away $60,000. And this will be a head-to-head that I think everyone is going to be watching. You have your best female team versus certainly one of your best teams out there, a shaky major run, maybe a shaky end of the year, but this is a Navi era squad that the female team selected, and I respect that. Like, this is, for all content purposes, going to be insane. I hope they can put up a competitive fight, and could it have some backlash with it? Of course, you guys know the CS community, but I am super excited. And with that, thanks to ThunderPick, our esports betting sponsor. Hopefully be betting on these matches and others upcoming throughout January as these CS tournaments are underway. Thanks to ThunderPick for being with us throughout January. But back to that news. We also have Fnatic choosing teams like Spirit. We have the Mouz matchup coming in as well. And all of these teams, I feel like some of these matchups, I wouldn't say Navi are going to lose. That's just my opinion, guys. But outside of Navi, other top teams, like these could be some close head-to-head matchups. I mean, Spirit's a tough draw because Spirit's not changing anything. You're the defending major champions, probably the best team in the world right now. But outside of that, you know, top couple of Navi and Spirit, these are new lineups for a lot of teams out there, so why not take a risk and pick a higher seed team to try and take home that bounty money? So once Blast Bounty does begin, I'll be doing tournament breakdowns for all of you guys. And of course, if there's any drama, any fun storylines or score lines, we will be covering those too. Who do you guys think is going to win Blast Bounty? Give me a surprising option, okay? And speaking of the devil, when I made a call to Cloud9 earlier to save North American Counter-Strike, I meant that, by the way. HEAVYGOD now to G2. The entire roster is just gone. Cloud9 said to disband. Those rumors had sparked several weeks ago, and it's also confirmed Axel and Boomich are now also joining BetBoom. So Cloud9 is done. They're dusted. And can they save North American Counter-Strike? Will they bounce back with a team? When it comes to Cloud9, Jack Etienne, the owner over there, I just can't see him not having a roster, not having some announcements, not having anything out there. I don't know financially how Cloud9 is doing, but it's hard not to picture them in Counter-Strike. But it has sparked, I would say, a community-wide, you know, people talk about Cloud9 and the misfortune they have had in Counter-Strike for some time now. You look back at the glory days, I won't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The NA moment of all time. And ever since then, it really is the trials and tribulations of having a competitive Counter-Strike team. It is expensive, it is difficult, and it is really, really competitive. And so we'll see what Cloud9 does, and can they bounce back? As a North American guy, you guys know what I want, but I also just want Cloud9 to have a roster be notable again. They should be a major contending organization year in and year out. So what will Cloud9 do next? And a really touching story out there. I was surfing through Reddit as I usually do, and it was a really unfortunate story. If you guys don't know, over in Los Angeles, California, there are wildfires spread throughout the entire state. Many people, thousands upon thousands of people, tens of thousands forced to evacuate, many homes just completely gone. It's horrendous. And so a lot of esports fans across different games have, of course, also been impacted by this. One of them taking to Reddit to say one of his former mouse pads signed by a lot of guys out there, especially over in North American CS, including someone like Stewie, Sponge, and many others, well, unfortunately was lost, as was his house. He posted this on Reddit, saw many responses, and of course community members out there responding as well, and to which a lot of people were so kind about this, even people offering up their own peripherals that are signed by some of the same players, and he said kindly, very no, until this morning, where Stewie2k himself had taken to Twitter to announce, hey guys, this guy lost everything in this fire, including this signed mousepad. I can surely get some of these signatures together. Even someone like Sponge responding. And so it seems like in the next few months, and of course after Katowice, they're going to have something for this kid that is mimicking, if not even better, with more signatures of that of what he lost. And of course, that does not recoup everything else that he lost due to this fire, but these are the beautiful moments of the CS community. So shouts to Stewie, that thread, of course, if you guys want to contribute to that any which way, and hopefully he'll get that delivered sometime this year. These are just the beautiful moments of Counter-Strike that you love to see. So that's going to do it for this weekend's news, guys. As I said at the beginning of the video, HLTV Awards is going on currently, so we'll probably have the recap of that for you guys sometime very soon. That includes Player of the Year, IGL of the Year, Op of the Year, so many categories out. Oh, what the frick nuts? So many great categories, so many great interviews and moments, which I'll hopefully have to cover for you guys sometime soon. But until next time, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Go enjoy some grub, go enjoy some drinks, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, playing some CS, maybe watching some award show for CS, and I'll see you back here sometime soon. Take care.